Welcome to the Gentleman's Talk, where the podcast talks about a man's battle with mental health, his personal experiences, and his journey to be a better soul. Hosted by James Dean Littlejohn.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Gentleman's Talk. Here we are live on the Cherry Popper, Cherry Popper. We're on the Cherry Popper. I've just sent the invites out to my fellow comrades, the Bilster and Keister, and maybe being joined by the Nelster later on. A lot of stirs there, a lot of stirs. So here we are with the live podcast. Just realised I've got a massive cut on my hand. That was interesting. Anyway, here I am, gin in hand. Ben Howard on in the background, just chilling, looking forward to a good mental health conversation about gentleman's talk, as they say. Hold on. Delightful. That was a little slip of the pink gin there. So, hopefully, yeah, when it just... Oh, we got the Bilster. The Bilster's online. Can you hear me, mate?
Can you hear me, mate?
I can hear you.
You got me, yeah?
I've got you, mate. I've got you. You are on like John.
Sweet.
How are you, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. I just got back. I just took the dogs over the field there, and we've got like this dog walking area which is like all fenced in, so you can let your dogs off without fear of them, you know, running away or anything like that. And I just love seeing them. It's almost like they're smiling, mate. You know?
Yeah. Is that the chains I can hear there?
Oh, that was weird, that, wasn't it? That was some feedback or something, I think.
Oh, okay, mate. That's amazing. Like, yeah, it's when you see the dog bouldering off, mate, and having a bit of a laugh, it's incredible, isn't it? It's a good feeling because you know they're enjoying yourself and you're part of that. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I nearly chinned it off. I was like, oh, you know, I was going to what's it called? Get them on the lead and walk around the estate and what have you. But I thought, right, I'll chuck them in the car. And then we'll drive around over to the dog walking bit, and then I'll get them out, and then they can do whatever they want then. So They let me know when they've had enough as well. Do you know what I mean? Because they know where the gate is, so they just like line up as such at the gate when they want to go back, which is really good. Now they're just one of them's absolutely sparkoed now by the dinner table.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, really good, mate. You all right? How you been?
Yeah, not bad, mate. I did a poddy last night actually. A little impromptu podcast, mate, last night, just because I was in a great mood. And did I tell you I went to a comedy club?
To what club, mate?
A comedy show.
Oh, okay. Was it good?
Yeah, so so it was kind of an impromptu thing. I was sat there yesterday morning, and my missus turned around. She was like, "Do you want to go to a comedy show?" And I was like, you know. Yeah. You know me, I'm a bit apprehensive, but I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, we'll go along. And then sort of kind of left it at that. Basically, what had happened is she was meant to be going to the comedy show with her friend, but her friend's family's got COVID, so it seems to be it's on the rise again. I you know, it's quite bad around here at the moment, and so she didn't want to go to the show and like obviously infect people, you know, which is a nice thing to do. And so what she did was she said, "Oh, Zoe, do you want the other ticket to go with James?" And then she said, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll go along." And then all day I had this like massive anxiety. I don't know why, just like massive headaches, did everything to try and get out of it. And long story short, you know, I kind of got to the point where there was 20 minutes to go. My miss was like, "We're going down at 7:00. And I was like, "All right." And she was like, "Yeah, so it's 20 to 7. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." And I needed a shower because I'd been fucking fitting, you know, trees and all sorts. I've been doing loads of gardening during the day to keep myself occupied.
Yeah.
And then, so I went in and she was like, you know, you got to get ready. So I got ready. We went down, mate, and then sat there. I got a double gin and lemonade and then watched this comedy show for 2.5 hours, mate. And it was fucking amazing.
Oh, good, mate. Good. I mean, see, this is the thing, man. You always... You get that anxiety because you're thinking about the unknown and you don't know how you're going to handle it and you don't know what the audience is going to be like. You don't know how many people are going to be there, where you're going to be sat and all that. But, you know, you went there, you smashed it, you loved it.
Mate, and it was exactly that, mate. I was sat there, I had a blistering migraine And my missus had come out and she was like, why are you doing this when you got a migraine? And what it was basically, I just build up tension. And then she said she had a headache. So I was like thinking, oh, good, we're going to get out of this. We're going to get to like 7:00. We're going to be like, we're not going to go out. I'm going to end up getting a takeaway and we'll just sit there and watch shit TV, fall asleep, go to bed early. Job done. Yeah. And that's the way it would have gone. And then she was adamant. She was like, no, we're going out. And I was like, yeah, all right. She goes, this is the sort of stuff we should be doing now. The kids are fucking gone. We should be enjoying ourselves. And she said it's free. The only thing you got to do is buy a drink. So she drove as well, which was amazing. No, it's free parking. We got the free tickets. So I went down, just double gin and tonic and a fucking, and a cocktail for the fucking lady. And, mate, it was like £7. That's what it cost me to sit there and watch this incredible fucking, I got so much out of it in terms of, quips and jokes and having fun. And I did have a bit of anxiety when I was sat in the fucking crowd thinking, oh, am I going to get picked on? Is he going to ask me a question? But then when I started settling in, I was like, oh, I hope he does fucking ask me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got into it, mate. And it took a little while, but yeah, I got a fantastic experience out of it. I have just also seen that the Cherry Popper has joined.
Dog's on.
I don't know. Is he working? What's he doing? He might be on, but he might not be on just yet.
K-Dog, you there?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh!
Hello?
Hold on, I don't... Funny buggers, I just dropped my ear.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, it's an Elster, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing an Ellie too. He's got hardly any signal.
He's got hardly any signal. He's going to be going through the brushes, mate, and the gristly fucking floor in a minute.
K-Dog, you're back in the room. No, he's not, is he?
No, he's not. We'll talk until he talks, mate.
Yeah.
So I went along, and do you know what? I fucking loved it. I really did. And when I came home, I was like, I felt almost, this is a horrible word, but I felt normal. I felt like I did years ago, because I've never been really like an introvert. I've always been a bit of an extrovert, and I kind of got to the point where I just disliked people through the depression and stuff like that. You just learn to just blame everybody else but yourself.
Right.
And it's really easy to blame everybody. It's really easy when you're fucking hurting to go, it's your fucking fault, or I pull myself away from everybody because it's all your fault that I'm feeling like this. And it's very easy to go like that. But so to change the mindset and do these things, step out of the boundaries, mate. Yeah, I felt amazing. I really did.
Was it like one comedian, or was it like loads of comedians?
No, so it was there was a main comedian, Ed. Do you know what, it's really bad, but I can't remember his fucking second name. But I've never heard of him before because I don't know, it's not my type of sort of era, I suppose. He's quite young, so I was kind of like, I don't really, when you just sort of follow normal comedians, I call them, like Michael McIntyre, the things I grew up with.
Yeah, well, I hate him anyway, McIntyre.
Yeah, I know. I hate him as well, but he's the only one I could think of. But I don't tend to watch much comedy, so I was kind of like a bit apprehensive, even to the point, I'm going to have to tell you this, that at one point when I was in my back garden, I was sat there going, you don't even like fucking comedy, James. Like proper talking myself out of this.
Oh,
scenario.
Man.
I was sat there going, you don't even like comedy. You don't even watch TV anymore, James. And these are genuine, mind thoughts I was having. I was sat there going, you don't even like TV anymore. Why are you going to this fucking night? I was physically talking myself out of it.
When you got there, did you kind of in your head go, you were kind of banking on you weren't going to like it, or you was willing yourself to like it, or what?
Well, so there was, first off, when we got in, we were 2 rows from the front, mate. So we got these premium, so even then I was like, these are premium seats we've been given here. So I was like, we were 2 rows from the front, which was really fucking good. So I was bolstered with that. But yeah, I didn't really I didn't really know how to fucking sort of deal with it. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of like, it was the whole talking myself out of it I'd never felt before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that, Kieran?
Hello? Can you guys hear me now?
Sorry. Yeah, you're really low, mate.
You're a bit low.
I don't know how to turn that up.
It's like you're down a drain.
I feel like I'm down a drain.
I'm down a K-hole!
I'm a bloody hole again.
You do actually sound like you're down a drain, mate.
I think it may be where I've walked out my house and dropped my earbud, so I might just have to fucking put this on loudspeaker. And just
Yeah, get it on the loudspeaker,
Get it
mate.
on the loudspeaker. Fuck them all, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. Hold on.
He's dropped his earbuds and they're on the floor and he's standing up. That's why
Yeah, he's
that far away from the mic.
Is he?
Hold on.
Hold door.
Hold door.
Well, now we're getting feedback.
Oh, this is
This is
brilliant.
this is premium stuff, mate. Sorry, Billy. What did you say again? So I lost train of thought there.
No, I was just saying that laughter is it's like a booster for you, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you're laughing and you're enjoying yourself, it just makes you feel all around good.
Oh, it was when I looked into it, and it was like £15 for the tickets, and I thought to myself, that's 30 quid. I could have done that anyway. Going out, we went out for a couple of hours. We had a couple of drinks. We went for a drink afterwards, which was an extra bonus.
Yeah.
And then just came back, mate. It was just the elation of getting out and about and just, getting over those boundaries. And I even related it to how you changed when you've taken a different outlook at the moment to how you've previously looked at it. And you're doing more all the time. And that's like an incredible, I looked at all of the scenarios and experiences around me and I went, no, just fucking go, mate. And I was stood there, gin and tonic in hand, mate, taking selfies, just having a really good time, sat down, watched the whole comedy show, and then just came straight out and then was like, this is really good feeling. I feel amazing about it.
That's really good, mate. That is really good. I've never been to a comedy show before.
Have you not?
Nah.
Oh,
Sorry, tell a lie. Yes, of course I have. I've seen what's his name? Mickey Flanagan.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, and he was brilliant. And I've seen Ricky Gervais.
Oh, there you go, mate.
Yeah. So no,
again,
still done.
Kieran in the K-hole.
I'm still really low. I don't know what's going on there, guys. Not the best.
He's trying anything to get out of this cherry popper, isn't he?
He's trying to get. He's doing everything to get out of this cherry popper.
I'm really not. I'm doing my best. Hold on.
Are you not just talking through your? I mean, I'm just talking through my phone as normal.
This is me talking through my phone. I've switched off my Bluetooth because my headsets weren't working. But
What is going on?
it's just not. I don't know what's going on. This is me literally just walking with the phone right in front of my mouth.
Oh my god!
Put it on. Take it off the speaker and put it in your ear and talk.
The whole phone.
No, you like normal, like a normal phone, not on speaker.
Oh, God. I don't know how you do that in this group thing because it comes straight through your phone.
I tell you what, in this day and age of Skype meetings, Teams meetings, this should be second nature to us, shouldn't it?
Should be.
It really should. It's an absolute.
I don't know what I'm doing.
That's what you've said that before, mate. Trust me.
I say that every time. I say that every time, so I hope that they believe me.
You're getting a bit louder, mate.
Yeah, a little bit louder there.
I literally just put the phone in my mouth.
Yeah, it's your speaker. What phone have you got, mate?
It's an iPhone 12, mate, Pro.
No, it's not. You're a
load of
lying
shit.
bastard, mate. It's
Load of shit.
It's a Sam shit.
This fucking knockoff, mate, that. Where'd you get it from? Phoneshop.com.
Anyway, so
Samsung S21.
Kieran, this is appalling, mate. We can't voice this out, mate.
Nah, we can't be popping cherries down a manhole.
But I'm gonna have to get a better setup.
You get a better setup, mate, and we'll sort our speaker out, and then we'll have to lock this back in again.
I'm giving my headphones one more try.
He's giving it one more try.
One
My
more.
headphones any better? Can you hear that?
No.
Still
Terrible.
bad.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Okay, I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna come back in.
Okay, mate.
All right, mate.
Right, back in two.
Back in two. Yeah, mate. So I got a lot out of it. And do you know what? It was a culmination of everything. I really did genuinely think comedy show was really good. There was,
Yeah.
I got this really good jokes out of it. It was nice to be amongst people, just to feel laughter. And then it was the after feeling, and then going back, and I was just I felt amazing. I did a full 50-minute podcast about, just different scenarios. It really did boost my morale. And I felt great. I just felt amazing about it. And I was like, but it was that culmination of advice you've given me, watching your outlook, Nelly, Nelly and Kieran, just a culmination of everything, really.
Yeah.
Is it?
This is any better.
Absolutely not, mate.
Oh my God.
Okay. I honestly don't know what this is or what's wrong with this.
It might be your phone settings or something.
Yeah. What I'll have to do is the next time we do a call in,
We'll do a test.
I'll come round James's house and I'll jump on his, and then we can work out my phone as well.
Yeah, all right then, buddy.
Because this is no good. Nobody wants to listen to this.
Well, no one can hear it, mate, for a start.
Don't forget to smash some hearts, mate. Get some hearts going on the show.
Coffee beans and shit. Oh, the golden beans cost money.
Right, go on.
I love you and leaving. Listen.
Away with you.
All right, buddy.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you, mate.
So yeah, and that's what it was. It was just a culmination of things. It felt amazing, and I think that was like the positive I got out of it. The way I woke up more positive this morning. It's just a really good. It was just a really good feeling.
Oh, mate, that's really good to hear, man. You've been being a bit down recently, have you?
Yeah, well, I was a bit last week, and I don't know what it was. It was just a mixture of a few things, and we all go through those days, don't we?
Right, we certainly do. Everyone gets them days, man.
Yeah, and that's it. And I don't really I don't give it the, what's the word I'm looking for? The value that it people think they should, in the sense that, trying to look at it how I'd look at it, but I don't really sort of kind of overthink about it now. I don't go, if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day. Whereas before I used to go, I'm having a bad day, I'm fucking depressed, no one likes me, everyone fucking hates me, I'm going to put a post out, no one's going to like it, everyone fucking hates me. That's the sort of shit you would get.
Right.
And, for now it's not. Now it's very much, you're having a down day. So what? Maybe you're a little bit, maybe a bit tired. Maybe you're all a bit stressed out. Maybe you've been overthinking a few things. Just a general sort of kind of natural shit, that you get all the time.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at it like that, that's when, for me, I get more out of it, because I just go, yeah, I'm having a bad day. I still carry on. Yeah. As you rightly said, I didn't sound as chirpy in my last podcast because I wasn't in the best of places, but it was nice for me to talk, because it's kind of, it's important to get the communication, keep the communication going,
Yeah, 100%, mate.
And that was
100%.
it, really, So, but I did feel a bit shit, and then it sort of kind of got into Friday. I knew it was bad. Friday, 12 o'clock, fucking clocked off. Just literally, I'm leaving now. See you later. All the best. And I did. I just genuinely had enough of looking at the computer. And then, but it just got better. I had a really good weekend. Like say, Friday I was just chatting to my brother all night. We were on line gaming, and we were just chatting all night. And then Saturday was a nice sort of relaxed day, chilled out. And then Saturday night we went out, comedy night. And then Sunday playing golf this morning. So it's been
nice.
Yeah,
So you're loving the golf recently, aren't you? Do you think that's helping towards your well-being?
Oh, absolutely, mate. I mean, Kieran was playing with. We've played so much, and he always says to me, "No, one day I'm going to get one game," and I don't really look at it. I just play the game, as in I sort of enjoy it. I enjoy the improvement process. And like today, I was getting them on the green, like straight from the tee. Pardon me, and I could see that I can see the improvements that Kieran had made as well, So it was nice to see, aside from the fact that golf is quite a slow sport. All right, it's a little bit sort of kind of boring. I used to think it was really boring, but in actual fact, when you look at the context of what I get out of golf, I would enjoy golf actually with anybody, because I don't look at it as, there's an element of competitiveness about it, because I'm a competitive person. He did not improve. I'm a competitive person in general, so I do strive to be good, but I don't strive to be good to to outdo anyone else. I strive to be good to outdo myself. So naturally, I can naturally push myself. It's not a problem. But I will also at the same time, I will push anybody around me to improve themselves. It's just what I naturally do. Kieran will fucking laugh and tell you, mate, because the amount of times that I literally push him and go, I just keep fucking forcing him through life, mate. I'm just going to be, and I think that's a good attribute to have. But yeah, I've got a lot out of it. I've seen the improvement. I've had, but what I really get out of it is I get 2.5 hours to 3 hours chatting to my mate. And we put the worlds to rights and we talk about stuff that the only way I can compare it to now, it's almost like what I used to get out of spending on an all day sesh at fucking 18 in the pub. I used to sit there and put the worlds to rights and we used to fucking drink and, get fucking smashed and slotted and crack on. Now I get the similar out of that now, but at a later stage in life. So for me, it's kind of, I look at it as I get that quality time to talk about life and talk about the shit that you used to talk about in the pub. It's no less different. It's still as crude and as rude as it ever will be, but it's smacking a few balls around. And then if it's on a good day and you're on a Saturday or a Friday, you'll have a couple of beers. Or we went out the other day and we had a first 5, played 9 holes and we had a beer on the way around. That is it's like the adult version of what we used to do at 18, 19.
Well, yeah, man, and we've spoke about it before. I think on this is the fact that this whole poddy is about getting guys to talk, right?
Yeah.
Now, especially in the military, I've noticed, mate, in 20 years, the difference between soldiers when I first joined up and soldiers nowadays is because technology and all that's moved forward. These guys, instead of finish work, get down the fucking bar, socialise and chat and do, spin shit dits and stuff like that. Now it's these lads, they go back to their rooms, they close the door, they sit in front of their laptop or the computer and that's how they socialise. So I genuinely think that it doesn't matter what the hobby is, as long as you are doing it and appreciating it for what it is, as in like the social side of it,
Mate, I can give you and this will sound fucking outrageous, but this is, I've got quite a competitive personality. I'm quite addictive to something when I start getting good at it.
Yeah, I know that.
Even in relation to today's standards. So Kieran got me into this game called Battlefield on the PC fucking many years ago. I don't know if I've told you this story before.
I played that as well. I played that Battlefield, not on PC though.
Yeah, I played it on PC. Well, Kieran got me into it and I had a shitty PC, played this game, and then straight away I was like, right, well, I'm dying a lot and I'm not that bad at this game. I used to be a bit arrogant. I still am. And then basically I looked online and I was like, I want to be better at this game. So Kieran had said to me, here's the game, play on PC. Within 6 months, mate, I was almost play competitive. I had a fucking £2,500 computer. I was playing almost competitive.
One of them computers with all the lights inside it and all that.
Mate, I had it all. I was number 3 in the world, mate, on the helicopter league, mate.
You did tell me that, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and that is but that's the addiction. But it wasn't just that. Okay, remove the competitive side. The social side that I had, mate, it sounds crazy, but we were all chatting and we spoke so much online that it was like we were spending 8 to 10 hours chatting to different fucking lads and from America and everything. I got some really good friends, even went out on the piss with a few of the guys that were chatting away. And it was like, the social side is actually fucking immense. You just
that's good, man. That's good. Cause I was just about to say, before you said that, I was just about to say, but it's not real. They're not real mates because you ain't seeing them. But if you're meeting up with them,
mate.
That's fucking brilliant.
Mate, there was guys that they were down the road and we got chatting, you'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning, you'd be sat in a tank, fucking just nailing this fucking Americans fucking all over the place, doing whatever, playing these games. And you'd be in a squad. We were that tight, mate. We knew exactly how fucking we all sort of kind of played. We developed it, we were chatting away, and then we'd go out and we socialised. I drove to Manchester, had a fucking weekend at this guy's There was about 4 of us. We just got pissed up, went to Manchester, fucking pizzas, playing games, and then went back the next day. And it developed over there to the point where it only fizzled out because we moved from, believe it or not, MySpace onto Facebook, and there was no fucking transition between friends. So the transition from MySpace to fucking Facebook, for me, I lost a lot of people because I moved away from PC as well. So I lost all my MSN contacts. So,
MSN Messenger.
That's what I mean. But that's how we all spoke, was on MSN Messenger and stuff like that. So because when I moved across and we went to technology and I got in the RAF, I didn't have fuck all. So I was like, I just lost contact with all these people. And we never transitioned onto a social side in terms of, I probably had his number somewhere, and I chatted to one guy for quite a while. But, I got a lot out of it socially. I really fucking did. And like I said, as long as it's not just the non-reality bit, you do get outside a bit and you make another fucking friend. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, man, definitely. Especially like you say, I'm not a golfer. I have played it in the past. And it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I'm not any good at it, but you've got to, especially with golf, you've got to appreciate, mate, what it is. You know what I mean? You're outside. You're meeting up with like Kieran, and I think you went with your dad and stuff like that as well. You're getting a fresh air into you, mate. For them, a couple of hours. You're not concentrating on fucking, how am I going to pay the fucking electric bill and the gas bill this fucking winter, fuck's sake. All that shit. You're just thinking, right, how the fuck am I going to get that ball into that hole that's that far away? Do you know what I mean? And you're just so concentrating on that, mate. And it's, I suppose it's like a form of mindfulness, isn't it, really?
Oh, mate, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's mindfulness and well-being all incorporated, because you've got the well-being, you're healthy, you're doing 8 to 10,000 steps on a short course. On a bigger course, you can be hitting, sort of your 20,000 steps, mate, in 2 or 3 hours. It's a nice brisk walk as well. You're getting your mindfulness in terms of talking out loud, socialising, and you're getting your problems off, because let's face it, you're not going to go to golf and play golf with, someone else. You're not going to, like someone random, so you're going to always go to golf with somebody that you know. So you're going to be open, honest, you're talking, you can say how shit a fucking life you're having at home, or, how's your fucking life, or shit time at work. You can be open, as honest as you want. It's only your group, whether that's 2 or fucking 4, it's only you, whatever it'll be. It's just your little group. You adapt and overcome. And I think it's like Kieran just said there, it's full of laughter, mate, because you've got shit shots. You've got good shots. You've got the competitive. The only thing I would say out of golf that I've learned is when you remove, and I was about to say competitiveness, when you remove that and actually go, do you know what? Okay, if you can get over that milestone of thinking to myself, I want to beat that person. If you can get over that, which is very hard for me, you'll enjoy golf more, because I've started to try and look at golf as, it doesn't matter if it takes me 7 or it takes me 2. It's nice to get 2, but if it's over 7, to get into that fucking poxy little fucking hole, it doesn't matter, because I'm with my mate, I'm having a good time, and then the next one might be an absolute fucking blinder, and you hit it on the green in 1 and you feel fucking amazing. So when you remove that aspect of competitiveness away, I think you'll enjoy something like that. I really.
Mate, yeah. I used to get it from my fishing, when I used to do fishing, because mindfulness is all about the right here, the right now.
Yeah.
And when I used to go, I was really into my carp fishing, really into it. And even though I was there on my own, so it's not a very social thing, fishing. I mean, if I used to go with my mate, he might be in the peg with me, he might be in the next peg or whatever. We'd meet up, have a couple of beers in the night or whatever during the day. But all I used to do when I was fishing was, I'm thinking about what is that? Where are the fish? How can I get that fish to bite my hook? You know what I mean? To take my bait. what's the weather conditions like? What's the pressure, air pressure? What's the water temperature doing? Where's the fucking wind coming from? Have I got the right baits? Is it the right colour? Is it the right flavour? What size of my hooks? What breaking strain's my line? Have I got the placement of the bait in? Mate, I don't know why I give up fishing, to be honest with you. Well, I do actually, because I couldn't afford to do that and my shooting. But I used to.
It is expensive.
It is, mate. Yeah, I used to get that from my fishing, and it was really nice. You know what I mean? To when you get away and do your thing, it just clears the mind, clears it completely.
Oh, mate, and like you said, similarities in golf, similarities I think in any sport that I've ever done. You right me down to playing darts. You could be playing snooker. You could be doing whatever you want to do. You have to think about the moment. You have to live in the moment, because you have to understand snooker. You have to understand where to hit the ball, backspin, topspin, left spin, darts. Oh, Christ, I need a treble 20. Fishing, I need to, like you said, think about this as this. Wakeboarding, I need to, oh, Christ, I need to be in this position to do this and lean out. Everything takes you away from the fucking mundane processes and, what do they call it? The rat run of life. You know what I mean? You get off the rat race of life, and anything to take you away from that shit where you have to earn money to fucking enjoy yourself. If you don't earn money, you don't enjoy yourself. To take you away from all that bullshit and get yourself into something that makes you live in the moment, that's going to bring you fun, laughter, that little bit of competitiveness, because we all need that little spurt of testosterone, shall we say. We need that in life, whether it's weight training, whether it's fishing, whether it's shooting, whatever it is. The adrenaline you'll get from that will be fantastic. And I think that's what we absolutely need as men.
Yeah, mate. It's but it's also really hard, man. Like 22. I don't know about you. You've probably experienced the same thing on your mental health journey of, when you're feeling shit, when you're feeling down low, that if you go and do your hobby, or if you go and see your mate, it will make you feel better. But it's that horrible feeling that because you're so low, you don't want to. You don't want to go and do that thing that is going to make you happy.
Oh, absolutely, mate. And I've been there. And I've turned shit down for years. I mean, Kieran, the amount of times I've turned and said, no, I'm not fucking going, and or whatever with anybody. I've turned shit down with you. You're leaving, dude. I've turned shit down with everybody at some point in my life, because it doesn't matter how good I know I will feel spending time with that person. I don't care how. Oh, Nelster's in the house.
Oh, Nelster's on.
He's I don't care who they are. You're still going to feel shit. Do you know what I mean? For not doing that, because you know that they'll make you happy. Absolutely will. Whatever you do, we'll have a good fucking time. And it's a vicious cycle, I think, when you've got mental health. Is you sit there and go, I don't want to see people, I fucking hate it. Or, no, go out and do that, because you're guaranteed to have a good time. And then you revert back to you haven't got long in life, mate. Enjoy every moment as much as you can.
Yeah, man, and you know what? I am so guilty of not making the most of my time, man. I've always slept a lot. I'm an oversleeper, mate. Any chance I get, I will get my head down, mate, all the time. And my missus says to me, fuck's sakes, you're not sleeping again, are you? You know what I mean? You should be going to do something. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And I know, and I go, right, you're 100% right. What a fucking waste. But it's kind of like, I just love a kit, mate. I just absolutely love a kit.
See, I'm the opposite, mate. My head is fucking bonkers. I'm constantly, like today, for instance, I'm going to give you this little scenario. So I'm sat doing this fucking podcast right now in absolute fucking crippling pain. I'm not even fucking lying to you, okay?
What, because of golf?
No, not because of golf, because of something that happened today. I am in fucking agony. Like, I've been sick twice, so I'm in that much pain. But what happened today was, so I was sat there and I was my head this morning. So I went to golf and I was going to chill out this afternoon. I decided, fuck it, no, you're going to redesign the whole clock and balls, redesign it all. I'm going to move it in so it looks a bit more fucking retro, a bit more fucking, I don't know, 90s fucking graffiti theme. That was going through my head, mate, after playing, 2.5, 3 hours of golf. I came back, walked into B&M. I was that scatty, mate. I walked into B&M, put a load of stuff in my basket and put it down and walked out because I don't really know what the fuck I was doing in that shop. Then came back to, this is how my brain was thinking today. Got through the house, did all this fucking painting, and then I said to literally my neighbour come across and he said, "Oh mate, I've got this 2.5 metre by 1 metre, 50 mil thick, fire retardant plywood insulation board."
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. He said to me, he said, "Do you want it?" He said, "I remember I was offered it to you a little while ago." And I was like, "Actually, I fucking do. This perfect timing. Literally, that's what I wanted."
Sounds like a fucking door, mate. Was it a fire door he was trying to get rid of?
It might as well be a fucking fire door. So imagine these sheets right there, 2.5 meters long, or 2.6 meters long, by 1.1 meter. I remember that I've got it written on top of me because I want to show everyone the pain. 50 mil thick, and it's solid plywood. So it's pretty fucking heavy, right?
Yeah.
So I got 3 of them, and I was like, brilliant, they're going to go up in the wall. And they do look fucking amazing in the bar now, and I'll show you some photos later. And then, but I needed to move it in, so we lifted it in, and then my missus was coming over, and she was like, I said, she's the only one in the house because I've got 4 women in the house. Now, I'm not saying anything against women, but today I realised I'd quite like a fucking another man in the house, and I don't care what context you want to take that in. That's honestly where I fucking felt, mate, because I said to the missus, "Can you come and help me?" She went, "Well, I am busy, you know." I was like, "I just need you to lift in this board with me. It's about 2 meters in distance. And then I'm going to put it on a board. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to stick it against the wall. I don't really need you to do a lot. Just need you to bring it along because it's quite heavy and I can't grip underneath it." And then she was like, "Yeah." So she walked on. "Oh, I've got nothing on my feet." I was like, "Okay, well, I didn't really fucking tell you to come out with nothing on your feet, but I'll fucking listen. I'll listen to it." She picked it up and I went, "Come on." So she picked it up, and then as she picked it up, mate, she pulled it forward, slipped out my hand, and the whole weight of the fucking board, of the corner of the board, went right into the cuticle area of my big toe.
Oh,
and
mate.
I heard a crunch, and then my fucking toe swelled up. There was instant blood all the way through the nail. I've sent Kieran a fucking photo, mate. And I went, and now I can't walk on it. And the whole bottom of my toe is gone like a brownie, a bluey, like blacky colour for bruise. And I sat there, and this was like, and I still had 2 hours of work to do. So I sat there, and she went, "Are you not going to fucking look at it?" And I went, "Look, I'm going to tell you something now." After I shouted fucking the C word so loud in the estate, mate, I think I scared unborn children.
Oh my God.
I shouted that fucking loud. I have never felt a fucking pain like it, mate. I thought to myself, someone has jackknifed me right up the fucking arsehole with a fucking 6-foot cone. That's how intense this pain was.
Ouch.
So I came in, and then literally I said to the missus, she said, "What are you going to do about it?" And I was like, "There's not a lot I can do. I'm really, really in pain now." She goes, "Well, you need to look at it." I said, "No, I'm not. That's the last thing you do. You never look at it. Because if you look at it, it's going to look worse, isn't it? It's going to make you feel worse." So I just fucking carried on, mate. I just carried on for 2.5 hours. I finished the cock and balls. I did the painting. It looks amazing. I've hoovered the fucking place. I did everything, mate. And then I looked at it in the shower. And it was a fucking mess.
Oh God. Hospital job.
Well, I don't know. I've been told. She was doing research, and she was like, you know, supposedly your big toe's quite an important toe. You might need to go to A&E. And I was like, "I'm not going to sit in A&E. You can fuck that right off. I've done it before. It's horrible." And but they said if it's a little fracture, you could get an infection in the big toe. It's quite an important toe, and you could get fucking like a bone infection or something. She was telling me.
Who's that Google doctor?
Yeah, so I just said to her, I said, "Well, we'll leave it a couple of days." I did the man thing. "Leave it a couple of days. I'll take a bit of ibuprofen and I'll be fucking all right. I'll just go by." And she just looked at me as if to say, you're a typical man. You're a dick."
That's what blokes do, mate. That is what blokes do.
So what I did was I'm on my second gin, and I'm talking to you, and my foot's throbbing, but the more I drink gin, the less the throbbing is. So
well, that sounds like you need another gin, sir.
I think so. So so that was today, mate. So that was my brain, literally to the point where it goes fucking crazy. Like I need to relax. That's what that's why I do these hobbies and things, is to try and relax. I'd love to be able to, but then I can have a good snooze when you need one, a little microwave nap.
I can fucking sleep anywhere, anytime, instantly. Even if I've just slept for fucking 8 hours, mate, I'll wake up, right? And if someone come up to me and went, "Hey, listen, mate, it's bedtime now," and I go, "I've just woken up," I'll go straight back to sleep, mate, for another fucking 8 hours. No dramas.
Really?
Yeah, I can do it, mate.
Mate, I literally sleep for 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours, mate, and that's me. I'm fucking done.
I've fucking slept everywhere, mate. Anywhere I can fucking get my napper down, mate.
Is that not your background, mate?
Well, yeah, I suppose so, but
because
at the same time, though, it's like no matter I can sleep anywhere, I can also I just sleep all the fucking time. The amount of time I imagine or things that I've missed out on because I've wanted to have a kip instead, it fucking pains me, man.
Yeah.
Really, really annoys me. Anyway, speaking of fucking drinking,
yeah.
So I had a few swallies last night.
Right.
Now I don't have a drinking problem, but what I do is I binge drink. Right?
Go on,
I
mate.
binge drink. So I can go, weeks and weeks without having a drink. It doesn't bother me. But when I get the taste, mate, that's it.
Oh, it's the same. I'm a fucking nightmare.
It's fucking shit, mate. So I was here last night. So my wife's away at the minute. She's coming back later. I've got to collect her. But so I was sat here watching the telly. I went, I'm sure I've got a bottle of Bushmills in the cupboard. I might have a cheeky little whiskey. Now, me being really sensible, mate, and I am a sensible guy, I even got the shot measurer out, and I went, I'll measure and know how many shots I've had, rather than just pouring it in the fucking glass, and you go, oh, that's one, or that's a double.
That's
and
what
actually,
it's
a triple quadrupler.
I pour in half a bottle, mate, that's a double.
So I went, right, I'll start off, and I went, I'll have a little Irish coffee. So I poured one in a coffee, had a coffee, watching the telly, and then I went, I can't have too much coffee, because we're running low on the pods. I went, I'll have a fucking whiskey and Coke. So I poured myself another whiskey, right, which was a double this time. Then I had 4 of them, right?
Right.
So I'm fucking feeling a little bit chatty. So I phoned up my brother.
A little bit chatty.
Yeah, so I phoned up my brother and we had a good old chat. And I was texting my other mate and then I got another message through saying Cigar Club's on tonight. And I was like, oh sweet. So Cigar Club is basically you just go around someone's house and you smoke fine cigars.
Oh, wow.
And talk about the cigars and just chat, very much like your golf game. You just chat shit and you smoke cigars. Now I don't really like cigars.
I hate cigars, mate.
But yet again, it's the whole I'm there with me mates chatting, whatever. So one of the guys, he dialed in from wherever the fuck he was, and my other mate was obviously there, and we sat at his garage, bit of music on in the background, and I had an apple flavoured cigar, and then I had this other fucking massive, monstrous fucking cigar, which I can still smell, by the way, on my fucking clothes, like my jacket I wore. It's fucking stinking, so I've just loaded that up with Febreze. And anyway, so I don't go around empty-handed, so I brought a bottle of port round.
Lovely.
And then my mate goes, oh, try this. This is like a honey liqueur, and I fucking loved that. That was delicious. Right. So we've done the bottle of port. I've had fucking 4 double whiskies, a single whiskey Irish fucking coffee. Then I get back from Cigar Club and then polished off fucking whatever was left of the bottle of Bushmills. And then I decided to, because I'd fucking ain't got no lemonade, I had a gin and Coke, but I'd gone past measuring, mate, at this stage.
You're mixing your drinks like a fucking Looney Tune.
I just got the taste. I just needed to continue the fucking party,
Yes! I had
a fucking gin and Coke. And of course, what night wouldn't be complete without a fucking visit to the online fucking casino where I fucking went, I'm literally fucking Ocean's 11 here. I'm fucking gonna beat the house, and I put in fucking 20 odd quid, made it up to 100 quid. I was playing blackjack. I thought, oh mate, this is the fucking bollocks. I can't lose. Bang, lost it all.
Such a dick.
Yeah, I know, mate. Fucking dick move as well. I was like, oh my, I was literally there going, right, you can press withdraw now. You can withdraw all this 100 quid. It's fucking looking at you, right? But if you withdraw it, guess what? You're going to miss the next hand, and that next hand could be the fucking one, could be the daddy that you're going to win. So I just fucking kept playing, mate, and then I fucking lost it all again. I was gutted. So,
wow.
Yeah, so the taste got me onto the fucking online casino, and I had to in the end fucking go, right, turn my phone off because I couldn't fucking keep playing it and losing. So, yeah, mate, I woke up a little bit fuzzy this morning, but in my infinite drunken wisdom last night,
yeah,
I managed to put the fucking wash on. I loaded the dishwasher and fucking had that fucking squared away. I'd got today's dinner out of the freezer and put that on a plate and let that fucking thaw out.
Wow.
What else had I done last night? I'd folded some laundry. Now, I can't remember any of this, mate.
You're so that smash, you can't remember doing all that?
No, and so let's fucking, unless there's a fucking phantom fucking chore person that comes in my house and does this stuff, I don't know, but yeah, I managed to fucking do all that whilst I was fucking drunk. Oh yeah, and then I thought this morning, I went, I cooked the dogs some chicken thighs last night, and I forgot to give it to them, so they can have that for their breakfast. So of course I've come down to give it to them. I fucking gave it to them last night, mate.
You dick.
Well, there was just fucking bones left. So I was like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't remember any of it.
Wow, mate, you must, I mean, first off, mate, you're literally horrendously mixing your drinks. I couldn't do that. That would be me written off for the next 6 months. I'm telling you.
Oh, mate, well, I tell you what, it's my favourite port, and it's called Amelard, and you get it from Lidl.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and mate, honestly, the port is delicious. Now, I know there's a lot of port snobs out there, and they go, oh, it has to be Cockburn's, or oh, it has to be Taylor's, and blah, blah, blah. Hang on, that's the washing machine on in the background.
Me, mate.
Yeah, I know, mate. I'm doing a Nelster here.
You still pissed? You're doing a Nelly, are you? Like fucking, oh, what you doing, mate? I'm just changing the engine in the fucking car, mate.
So, I've just given my dog some little treats. Oh, right. Go on, you can have a little cheeky bone.
The thing is, mate, I can fully, literally, Kieran will tell you, I can go for as long as I'm needed without drinking. But if you go to the pub for 1 pint with me, it will never be 1 pint. You
get the taste, mate.
Like instantly, it doesn't matter whether I had the hair of the dog, just walked in, if it was unexpected, if it was an impromptu night and you said to me, let's go and get a fucking pint, I'd look at him and go, we're getting shots, mate. And literally, I go full fucking psycho, mate, when I get out and fucking drink. And then when you look at Kieran's the other one, he's the same. Like he just put there, I got trashed and pulled out the plates out and cleaned the cupboards. He's the same, mate. He literally is the same. But Kieran's a little bit more reserved because I think he gets pissed quite easy nowadays. He's always done that. He's just probably the last 2 or 3 hours realised that that's the case. So
right.
He's an absolute fucking nightmare. He's an absolute. That's why I can't wait to get him on the Cherry Popper, mate, because he's a fucking absolute. He's a liability when he drinks.
I love the pub, mate. I love the pub.
Oh, I get such a hard on in the pub.
It's fucking annoying that most of the fucking pubs are a drive away.
They
Do you know
are.
what I mean? And I don't know what it was. When I was younger, I didn't mind getting a fucking taxi, mate.
I hate it now. I hate it.
I hate it now, mate. I can't stand it. Like, I'd rather drive there and not drink than fucking pay a taxi. I don't know why.
Mate, I look at the taxi drivers, mate, and I swear they've got swag bags, mate. I swear they're just ripping me off.
I look at that meter and I go, right, okay, and I try and work it out and I go, okay, well, it's gone up 60p. Then it's got to go up another 60p in a minute. Boom, 70p. What? That don't make sense. Okay, then it's got to go up. If it's at 70p, and it was 60 before, it's got to go up 80p. Boom, gone up £1. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what them meters are doing, mate.
I don't, mate. And even to the point where I've got in before, and the taxi has been out the train station, right? Fuck, I just remember I never claimed for that. Fuck. I've been at the train station and I've got into a taxi and I've gone, can you take me to Old Sarum? And then instantly he goes, he puts it on. He goes, yeah, no worries. And the meter starts then at £3. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you starting at £3? This was your starting point. You didn't have a job on. I've got in your car. I've not pre-booked you, but I've started at £3.
Yeah.
And then you go along, and what
I
gets,
used to,
it
I
sits.
used to hate it, mate. When, you know where I used to live, right? I used to live in the middle of fucking nowhere, wasn't it? And the taxi companies, right, they used to charge you already for coming out to collect you.
Yeah, but it's their fucking job.
I know, man. It really used to annoy me. Like the same price to get to bloody Stockbridge as it would be to go to Salisbury.
I know, and that's why I begrudge it. Like to the point where I've gone over and people have said to me, "Do you want to stay? Or I'll get you a taxi back." And I'm like, literally, I'm not staying. But I begrudge a taxi. And then people go, "Oh, I'll pay the taxi for you," like my old man normally says. I'll pay the taxi, and I'm like, no. I'm not giving them thieving, robbing bastards my money. Not even your money. I give up all the time. I like Kieran just says, I get out 2 miles before my destination. Yeah, to normally save a bit of cash. And also, have you ever been in a taxi cab where you've gone along and you've gone, yeah, just drop me off here, mate. It's nowhere near your fucking house. But you just go, drop me off here, mate.
Yeah.
I don't want to explain the fucking corridors to get to my house.
I know, man. But like I say, when I was younger, I didn't mind getting a taxi. I'd get a taxi whenever.
Yeah.
No dramas. But, I don't know what's changed now. But yeah, I love going down the pub, mate. Especially when you've got that fucking, your missus has given you that free ticket to go and fucking go rogue with the boys.
Mate, I thoroughly, although I've got the clock and balls, which is a little bit of a, I don't want to overuse it in the sense I do like to get out and socialise. I don't like to just stay in. I do like going out. But, I mean, it's a bit difficult because sometimes when I've gone out, it's a bit shit. I do like an atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I don't think the pub atmosphere is like it used to be, which is really hard for me to try and get my head round because, I've been into pubs for years and years and years where they're rammed. You had to stand in queues to get into a pub, let alone a fucking nightclub or a fucking cocktail bar. And I just think you go in now and you get ripped off at the bar and you get and there's no social atmosphere. So it's a bit of a difficult one. But then at the same time, I do absolutely love a fucking pub. To sit there, mate, and you get a fucking bowl of nibbles and you're drinking pints and you start stacking pints up in the middle because you're a bunch of fucking animals. It's just I don't know. It's a manly place, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man. And there's a couple of pubs around where I used to live that I used to like going to.
Especially, we used to go out in the morning with the boys, go for a little shoot, and then we'd finish and we'd swing on past this lovely pub, and it used to have the fire roaring, mate, and the smell of the fire, and a fucking lovely pint, mate. And I've fucking very rarely read the paper, but because you're in that pub scenario, you sit down in front of the fire with the boys, get the fucking paper out, and do you seen this, lads? You seen this fucking footballer's fucking caught fucking shagging his missus fucking friend? Blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is that's the only time, like the amount of times I used to get Fridays off, and it used to I still do now actually. I got them back again. I hate my fucking Fridays and work. But what I was doing was I was going down at midday, and I would go out on midday, and I would go into a pub, but I would go to the shop, I would buy a bottle of Lucozade, the Sun newspaper, and I'd go into the pub. And then I'd go in the pub, I'd order a fucking little nacho fucking side and a fucking beautiful pint, and I'd read the Sun, mate. And I sit there. At no other time do I give a fuck about the news, but when you're in a pub, it feels like the atmosphere to sit down, you can smell sick, piss, fucking beer.
What so are you going into, mate?
Going into fucking Weatherspoons, mate. But you can smell the beer on the floor, the sticky carpet. It just feels like home when you're a man. It's like you go in there, I can do whatever I like. If I do piss on the floor, it doesn't matter. I'm a man in a pub. I don't know. It's just the pubs are, I think, to go back to where I said at the start, I think, the pubs are inherently places where men go and get all their troubles off their shoulders. They like to go there. They like to have a chat about things. And it's also where a lot of how many times do you know that there's a score been settled in a pub where you fucking punch someone or whatever? Do you know what I mean? It's just a place where the men get their. It was like a man's club, wasn't it? It was
Well, this is the thing, mate. You think back. I mean, they're still going now, but you know, not so much down south, I don't think, but up north, the working men's clubs, where it was just fucking blokes allowed to go because that was their therapy, mate. That was their fucking
but
therapy.
it is. It's where you go. Now we're having to, like the whole podcast, this is me finding it and talking to you and all that sort of stuff. But it's all encompassed about how do we get to the point where we can talk again? Because we've removed that pub atmosphere. We've gone into the pub is now a family place. Christ, I go into Wetherspoons on a Friday night at fucking 7 o'clock. Or even 8 o'clock to go, right, I'm fucking on it now. I'm going to go to Spoonsies first. You look round, mate, and there's full families having fucking restaurant dinners. You're like, well, I'm not going to be able to fucking, you know, F and blind and have a fucking, you know, feel like a man's man in a pub here. But that's what's gone. Everything around you is cocktail bar, coffee fucking bars, you know, fucking pubs that are now family eating restaurants. There's no pub where you go in and you can just act like a dick. If you walk in and fucking fall out and, you know, oh, Steve was an absolute fucking cockwomble last night. It doesn't matter. It was in the working man's club. It was a place where you could have therapy, talk shit, put the worlds to rights. You might see Dave in the corner absolutely fucking shedded because he knows fucking his wife's getting bummed by fucking Steve down the road, but there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah. And I had a quite a similar experience to that last week, mate. So I'd popped back to see or to do some shooting and that, and I was staying at my old place where I used to work, and I popped into the mess one night, and there were loads of me old mates in there, mate. It was fucking lovely. And I went, you know, I walked in and it was kind of like I was a bit of a little celebrity because I'm not based there anymore, but I still know the lads, and they're like, hey! And I was going around, you know, shaking all their hands, meeting them all again. You know, I ain't seen them for a couple of months, or some of them, I ain't seen them for fucking, you know, a long time. But I was, you know, shaking all their hands and that, and we were just chatting shit, mate. And it was fucking good. It was real good. Nice atmosphere. And then I got a fucking kebab on the way home, which was, yet again, another little Bobby Dazzler.
It's a little bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of like you've earned that fucking kebab.
Of course you have.
I mean, you've earned it, mate. It's not as if you've gone down the gym and fucking bashed it out for 2 hours. You fucking worked that right arm, mate, by fucking drinking them pints.
And you've worked your jaws and everything. You know what I mean? You've really put yourself to town, haven't you?
You have, mate. Yeah, you have. Yeah, I mean, you've gone for a piss at least 30 times.
Exactly. You've definitely got your steps in, mate. You know what I mean? But I think that it's like men. Nothing has changed in life. Nothing has changed in the sense that, you know, men still need what they need. Women still need what they need in terms of their therapeutic, you know, activities, if you like. So they like shopping or whatever you like doing. Men haven't changed. We still have testosterone. We still have the ambition, the drive, the competitive. We still like to get rid of that. How do we get rid of that? When you don't have an area where men can inherently go, where there is no man's club. And we didn't do it because we were trying to exclude ourselves. I don't believe. Maybe that's an arrogant approach. Quite possibly could be perceived as that. But I think for me, it's an enjoyable place. It's a place where you can go. So we have found different ways. Like I said, you do your shooting, you know, golf, anything you do sport wise gives you the ability to almost get what you did out of that therapy session, you know, from the working man's club, if you like.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's just nice, isn't it? It's nice to, and especially, you know, I think when you've earned that fucking recognition from the barman that he knows your fucking name,
yeah,
you know, you've hit it big time. Yeah, so Bill, is it? Yeah. Cheers, John.
That's it. Do you know, that's the best. Oh, fuck me, it gets me excited because that's the best feeling in the world. I've even said to my missus, I'd love to look. There's this. The whole move thing fell through. Well, it might have sparked a little bit of rejuvenation in the sense that there's this little tiny village that's down the road from me. So it's out of the area, which is what I ultimately want. It's only on the other side of Salisbury. It's called Quidhampton. And Quidhampton, mate. And it's a fucking beautiful little place. And what it is, right, is about 20 houses, right? It's got a fucking shop, a little tiny convenience shop, and it's got a pub, mate, and it's got a fucking church. I won't go to the church because I'll sat on light if I ever go in the grounds of a church. So, but it's got a pub and it's got a convenience shop, and there's about 20 fucking houses, mate, and there's one that someone wants to swap for. And I'm looking and I'm going, and it's fucking the back door of it almost, it's about a 3-minute walk to the fucking golf course, mate. I'm just like,
Oh, mate.
I'm just sat there going, this could potentially, and I said that's the only time I would look at moving, even though I've put money into my house and I've done a lot of decorating. We were talking and I was like, if it fucking does, mate, that's my settle place. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I want to walk in and someone goes, same again, mate, is it, James? And I go, fucking right it is, mate, with a fucking Jägermeister as well.
Yeah. Fucking, no fucking little shitty shot glass either. Give me a fucking crystal decanter filled with fucking Jaeger.
Exactly, yeah, and fucking drop of ice, mate, and fuck off. Leave me alone.
Where's that fucking paper? And give me some pork scratchings, you cunt.
Pork scratch, get the fucking fire started, you bastard. Sat there in your fucking sweater. No, I just think it's a good thing, though. It's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to, a place to go, people to see, people to talk about as well. I think it's really important, isn't it?
Oh, mate, 100%. I missed a good night actually last week. It was there was a leaving do here, but I was away obviously. But it was a fancy dress movie theme. It was anything from the movies. It was There was dinosaurs tipping up from fucking Jurassic Park. There was fucking Karate Kid turned up.
Oh, mate, that sounds amazing.
All the fuckers tipped up, mate. I can't wait to see the photos. I've been chatting to the lads and they were telling me it was fucking good. Indiana Jones was in there, mate. You know what I mean? Loads of fucking...
I love fancy dress. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I just think it's like, I know... I'm trying to organise little mini events again, trying to get myself back into the flow, especially on the back of like Saturday and getting out and about. And that's why I'm trying to I think little theme lights like that, getting out and about, talking, it just makes you feel fucking great, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, mate. Yeah, so like I say, I fucking missed it. I do remember though, one time many years ago, at Bandcamp, and I played the flute. I got invited to a fancy dress and I didn't bother my arse, and I went, yeah, I know it's fancy dress, but I'm not going to fucking bother, mate. Never ever will I make that mistake again, because you feel like an absolute tool.
You look
when
like a tool as
dressed
well.
Up. Yeah, everyone's dressed up, and you ain't bothered, and it's like, oh no.
Wow.
So whenever it's fancy dress now, I always go, I go all out, and I'll get involved.
Mate, if there's anything fancy dress, mate, absolutely, 110% I will spend money on good fancy dress. I absolutely thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's worth the effort to turn up in good quality stuff, have a really good night because you feel good, and go that extra mile. I think it sort of brings the kudos in yourself as well, doesn't it? When you're putting on that, the extra bit, you're like, yeah, like I saw you had a fucking warrior outfit on, didn't you? Was that your last fancy dress?
Oh, the Viking night.
The Viking night, man. You looked like you did the whole fucking, like, the makeup. It looked incredible. And I just thought...
Mate, that was a little 30 quid kit off of Amazon. And then I went on to, remember I told you about that website, Vinted? It's like second-hand clothing and that.
Yeah.
Got a few little bits off of there. And yeah, like you say, a little bit of face paint as well. And it just with the bollocks. But whereas there's a lad here, mate, and he goes fucking balls deep. Balls deep when it goes to fancy dress. So that Viking night, mate, he made his own boots. Wow. He made like leather things. He was making his own chainmail to go on him. He was sewing his own kit together. It was, really, really top effort.
Wow. And the thing is, that's when you know that it's a good night, though. When you look around and you see that person who hasn't even dressed up, and you think, what a cockwomble,
Well, there was one guy there, mate. There was one guy, and he tipped up in a pair of jeans, right, and a T-shirt that said something like "factually correct Viking outfit," just printed on the front of it, right? And I bet, mate, when he was buying it, I bet he went, this is going to be hilarious. Right. Everyone is going to love it. I am going to be the boy tonight. Wow. And he tipped up, mate, and everyone just looked at him and went, oh, you look like twat.
He's tried to play the cool bit, where he's like almost... not doing the dress up because it's cool.
Yeah. It's like them twats that get the Tesco value Christmas jumper. Have you seen them?
Yeah, and
And you go, yeah, all right, mate. I see what you're doing here, but you look like a complete twat.
Yeah, I like what you've done there, mate, but you look like a bit of a dick. Whereas when you go, I mean, Christmas jumpers for me, mate, and I shouldn't talk about Christmas because it's fucking, they're already in the shops. But yeah, Christmas jumpers for me, little snippet. I love big, Larry, fucking, like, outrageous fucking Christmas jumpers, mate.
Yeah. Well, they've come back into fashion the last few years, haven't they?
Yeah,
I think.
have, mate. I've got a Donald Trump one and everything, mate. I've got fucking all sorts. That was it. Donald Trump saying "fuck her in the pussy," and he's got a Christmas hat on. Irrelevant to Christmas completely and utterly, but it sounds amazing.
Oh, fantastic, mate! Fantastic.
Yeah, I always go all in, mate. I literally, if it's anything to do with fancy dress, anything to do with dressing up, mate, not fucking, drag queen or anything like that. That's just for Friday nights, mate, on special occasions.
I was going to say, it's not really fancy dress for you, mate, is it?
No, it's just normal attire, mate, for me. That's just when I go out to the balls and stuff, you know what I mean? Balls being men's ones in my mouth. Right, move on.
Delicious. Scrumptious.
Biscuity nuts. Yeah, so I just, like I say, it's been, it's sort of rallying it around. I have a question for you, though.
Oh, yeah.
I have a little bit of a mental health question, and I want you to see, but I don't know whether... I'm going to ask you this question to see how you would interpret this question. Okay. This is like life. So if you had to sort of speak to somebody and they said to you, say for instance, you had the mental health problem and someone else was in your family had acknowledged you had it, but didn't really understand any of that, but understood the negative aspects of like talking loud, being sort of out, sort of outbursts and all that sort of stuff, but didn't understand the mental health, and they turned around and said that was, how would you try and sort of deal with that scenario where you're like, how would you sort of kind of battle that? Do you know what I mean?
Right, let's just restart because you went off on a tangent there, mate, so I don't actually know what the fucking question is.
Right, okay, I did a bit because I was trying to get the whole thing in my head. So
think about it, contemplate it, pose it. Pose, pause, pounce.
Right, okay, so I'll give you a scenario. Me and my daughter, I'll give you the whole story. It was because I was trying to work it around, not actually sort of asking a sort of lengthy question. But me and my daughter. So she said to me, when I said to her, I constantly have these mental health meetings, if you like. They're not, I don't label them mental health meetings, but I have catch-ups, if you like, with my daughters, one-to-one, where I can, and just sort of really go into depth about, how they're feeling, what they're up to, trying to keep them on course, a little bit of sort of nurturing. And I like to do it now because I've got the patience, if you like, never used to have it.
Yeah.
And then on one of those little catch-ups, I said to her, sort of kind of, do you understand anything about mental health? Because I'm trying to promote, talking. It's in my last podcast, actually. I went to detail on it. And, I try to sort of get them to talk about mental health and all this sort of stuff. And I said, what do you think of Dad when he was like he was? And she turned around and said, I understood your anger in terms of I could see your anger. It was visible. I could understand the speak about suicide, etc., but the problem is I could never link it to mental health because I didn't know what that was or understood it. So basically, she only ever saw the negative side, but never really educated herself, or wasn't educated herself, that's the wrong word, wasn't educated by the system in any way, shape or form to understand those signs and symptoms to try and help that person. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we had this conversation, and I sort of said was a little bit difficult to understand because you're kind of like I'm like I am because of this condition. However, you don't understand that condition enough, so all you see is the negative of why I am that way.
Yeah, but there is only the negative, really, isn't it? It's the output. What positivity is there to it?
Well, that's what I mean. So there isn't, and it was a kind of a difficult. So the way I tackled it was, like I said, I've tackled it by being open and honest. This whole thing is about being open and honest, exactly how you feel, and sometimes that can be quite cutting. I get that because no one wants to hear honesty all the time because let's face it, if we were all honest all the time, we'd probably be beating the shit out of each other. So you have to dull it down, water it down. But I say to her all the time, this is why we talk and this is why we understand mental health, and we try to promote it so that her generation, if you like, have a better understanding of it. So it's kind of the positive I took out of it was my education to the next generation is helping move this forward so we can understand signs, symptoms, and hopefully try and understand maybe why that person's angry. You often see, there was a little, I don't know whether, was it you that told me about the bloke that was always angry in work, or was it someone else?
Probably someone else.
Right. So there was a story about this guy that used to be into work. Oh no, it was another guy at work. He told me about this. Sorry. And he turned around and he said, there was this guy that was really angry and everyone wanted to try and sack him, but they couldn't understand why he was always angry. So basically, one day this guy said in the leadership program, walked up to the guy and said, "Why are you always angry?" And he went, "Everyone wants you out. Everyone wants you sacked. I want to know why you're angry." And he said, "I'm really angry because, there's too much change going on at work. You're the sixth fucking leader. I'm not having a very good home life. So I come into work for peace. I don't get it because you keep changing things for the fucking worse and not looking and speaking to us." So he had all this going on in his head and he was a really angry bastard all the time. But because nobody had walked up to him and said, "Is everything all right with you, Dave?" He just carried on being a grumpy old bastard. So he said openly, "I'm just going to see my time out because that's all I'm going to do. You're not helping me." So by not communicating, not being open and honest, that was a classic example of what can happen.
Mate, there are so many people that are fighting demons that we don't even know about, mate.
I know.
And it is horrible, and very much so. You opened my eyes to sort of like people on a mental health journey. I think I've become a nicer person from knowing you purely, and this ain't me blowing smoke, but purely because I get that, some people are just fucking arseholes, mate. We know that, they're arseholes. But, sometimes people are just fighting these demons and they've got so much going on that, how they even get out of bed in the morning is beyond me. To get out of bed, go to work, earn a bit of money, come back, and they relive this day almost like Groundhog Day every fucking day. I genuinely try to be nice to everyone now because, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and that's it's like when you
before we continue this, to answer your original question.
Yeah, go on.
Right. If this was solely for you and your daughter, right, I would say listen to the first 3 podcasts that you made for her to understand.
Yeah, because I do go into a bit of detail on it.
Yeah, mate. You know what I mean? I would say, if it's to build that relationship with your daughter, I'd say, listen to the first 3 podcasts, maybe 4, to get the understanding of, where it all started, what happened, and why you feel this way, why you get angry, etc., etc. And I'm sure that'll kind of explain stuff to her. But moving on from that, if it's a generic, I think that the younger generation now are more clued up to this than we even realise, mate. More than me and you. They're getting introduced to it at a very early age in school.
Oh yeah, and they have to, because there's so much more that they're subjected to. Like, if you think to yourself, and I think every single generation has always had mental health problems. I don't think it's got. I don't know whether it's inherently got worse. I think we put a lot more pressures on ourselves, but we've always had mental health. You look through all the ages, 18, 19, 20th century, whatever the centuries are, there are always going to be people that are struggling. They're always going to be. I think that the problem is now we understand a lot more about ADHD, PTSD, anxiety, depression, stress, and all the other things that go across. There's so many different things, but when you subject all of those to the fact as well that kids now are subjected to so much more because of the internet, in terms of you were very limited in what knowledge and experience you had as a child in the 90s, 80s, 90s, even earlier, because you only had the experience of the small amount of people around you. They're now
Yeah.
they're getting information and influenced from fucking wilder audiences. And how many times have you gone along TikTok and you scrolled through and you've seen some fucked up shit, or you've scrolled through reels or whatever, and you go, fucking, this guy is jumping off with nothing in his, jackass shit, but on a different level.
Yeah.
And you see that and you think to yourself, my fucking 11-year-old daughter's seeing that shit.
Yeah, man.
And
It's 24/7.
Yeah,
It's
and
24/7.
that's what I'm saying. It's 24/7 accessibility. It's almost like the only time you would get a similar time where you would get that buzz was when you walked into the casino on the pier and you were on holiday once a year in Weymouth or fucking wherever. That is when the kid got his first experience of TikTok but in reality. Now they get that fun, that excitement, that adrenaline, that serotonin, that fake stuff. It's all fake. They get it in seconds on Facebook and stuff. But the stuff that there's no way of filtering out the bullshit. So they're seeing absolutely everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I remember as a young kid, you limit yourself. Obviously, what you get taught in school, that's fine. You've got your TV programs that you want to watch. You never, as a kid, you don't watch the news. You're not interested in that, right? So there were, I remember I got my library card, and I used to love going to the library, mate, because you could choose what you wanted to, get a book off the shelf and what have you, and just choose what you want to learn about, what you want to know about. That was your source of information. And then this thing come into our school called a PC. And there was a disc that you put in called Encarta. Did you ever have that?
Yeah, I remember Encarta.
Mate, it was such a treat that I could go into the little school library and I was, oh, sir, can I have a look at Encarta? Yeah, no worries. Put a disc in, mate. And it was the world of information on this disc was fucking brilliant, mate.
That's what I mean.
Videos, info, stuff like that. But now, like you say, you've got it 365. You've got it instant access on your phone, 24/7. Whenever you want it, it's all there. Even the stuff, like you say, that you fucking don't want to see.
Yeah, and that's it. But you can learn 24/7. You can read 24/7. Everything is accessible completely. And you can be sat there at 2:00 in the morning, bored out your fucking brains, doing a course, or it's just endless. So how do you manage that world of stream? It's very, very difficult. And I think the education aspect is what I'm focusing on. So I absolutely focus on my children. I try to be as nice as I fucking can. I could be a complete and utter arsehole. I could be. And there is times where I have been an arsehole. But I don't like that, because I like to just be a nice person. Even casting my mind back to Friday when my current boss, my new one, he had a fucking 15-minute Skype call with me to tell me that I need to be, or a silent leader is a powerful leader, and I need to start looking more about keeping myself subtly in the background and almost trying to change my personality. And I was like, that's not who I am, mate. I'm not a quiet person. I've got to where I am because of who I am. Why are you trying to change me? Do you see what I mean? And it's kind of, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you're constantly trying to trying to be a nice person, but someone's trying to change you for the organisation, or someone might say, oh, you can't say that because fucking hell, that's such and such. You're constantly being manipulated, but you want to try and keep your core values of who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's tough. I am, I think I'm a phone addict. I think I'm addicted to my phone as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you will be.
I am
We all
always
are, mate. We all are.
looking at shit, mate. Just looking at shit, or on bloody online shopping, or fucking whatever, man. And my missus hates it. She hates it, the fact that, we sit down and watch a telly, watch something, and she look over at me. I've been on my phone for half an hour, and she goes, oh, you're missing all the program. Now, I'm not, because I'm a bloke and I can multitask, and I know what's going on the program or whatever. But I have been sat there just looking at bollocks on my phone on eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just addicted to it, and I hate it. I can't stop it. It's an addiction,
mate. I've tried to pull away from certain social media platforms, and I've managed to really cap it down so it's manageable. But yeah, absolutely. I'll sit there. I'll be watching a movie, and I do exactly the same. I'll sit about 10 minutes into a movie, and then I go, right, okay, then what's on fucking eBay? What's on TikTok? What's on FaceBay? And then I'll get the same in the background. You're not fucking watching this. And I go, and I'll literally look at the screen and go, this has happened. Because mentally, you are, I don't know what it is. I think men listen outside the box, don't they? And they think, oh, if I get in trouble, I need to take a note. And you pick up key points about the film. The rest is just dross, isn't it, in the middle?
Yeah.
And then you say, oh no, this is it, and this, and then they look at you and go, how the fuck's he got that? And I go, to be fair, I look at them and I go, the same way that I look at you and say, when I ask you where something is, you know exactly where it is. And I look at you and go, how the fuck did you know my keys and wallet were there?
Yeah.
And so I look at my missus the same way she looks at me when she says, how the fuck do you know what has just happened? Or she'll ask me some random question and I go, oh, it was this, this and this. And she'll go, how the fuck do you know that? Just because
I sometimes, even like, let's say we're watching like Silent Witness or something like that, or, you know, a crime documentary or whatever.
Yeah.
I sit there and I'm on my phone. She goes, what are you fucking on your phone? I go, pause it. And she pauses the telly. I go, right, I'll tell you what's happened. This is and he's the bloke that's done it. And she'll go, what? And it ain't even got to the end yet. And she's like, why are you saying that? I'm saying, look, I know already that it's that bloke, he's done it. She's like, nah, not a chance. Get to the end. Turns out it's that fucking bloke. She's like, how the fuck did you know that? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know, but
Sydney, so many times over, it could literally be a detective.
yeah, literally fucking Met Police, mate.
Yeah, like I say, mate, as long as you're being open, honest, and you're supporting each other, I think that we, like I said, you know, we cast our mind back to the start where, you know, I was talking about how getting out and about is really amazing. It's just such a good feeling to get out and about and be amongst these people, be amongst your friends. Like I said, we recently caught up, had a fucking great time. I'm trying to organise I don't think you'll be available actually, because it's going to be quite soon. 7th of October, I'm doing a little shindig, but you'll have to let me know, when we can get ourselves together so we can have a little bit of a proper party in the Clock and Balls, mate.
Yeah, defo, man. I keep, you know, and like I was over last week.
You chinned me off, mate. You chinned me off last time.
Did. Fucking such a lizard, but
such a fucking piece of shit, mate.
No, mate, I know. And I even said to myself, I went, oh, you know, I could probably go around. I've got a free couple of hours, but it wouldn't have been the same, mate. It wouldn't have been the same coming round for a coffee. Do you know what I mean? We want to have a pint. We want to get on it.
Well, you've got to get on it, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's it, mate. That is it. Anyway, listen, we have been talking for an hour and.
I know. I was just thinking the same, mate. So I haven't even had my tea yet.
No, me neither. Oh, well, I made some pasta earlier. I'll put that in the fridge, so I've got that ready. I've got to go and.
We're finishing on talking about dinner. You can fuck off. But if anyone out there, thanks. Like Billy, first off, mate, just want to say thank you, mate, for again, absolutely fantastic. Nelly, Kieran, thanks for listening, my little gentleman lovers. And like I say, if anyone's got anything out there that they want to talk about, jump on the show, have a listen. I want to do more of these, so hopefully get the guys involved a bit more because I fucking love it. And like I say, thanks to Bilster, mate.
I think that the next time we do this, we need to do it very much like you do the solo poddies, where we've got to have a subject to talk about, because otherwise we just fucking go off on random bollocks.
I'm sorry, I was just thinking absolutely, mate. What I'll do is, we'll talk about, we'll get a subject. We'll see if we can do a couple of tests. I'll do a test one with Kieran, try and get his work in, and then we'll just have a subject, mate, and we'll just talk about it. And I think that's a good way of getting a real good spectrum on the mental health subjects. And it gives us a diverse approach, doesn't it? Which is important.
Yeah, definitely, man. But if anyone's out there listening and you are having mental health problems, you know, don't be afraid to speak to someone about it, and especially like medical professionals. Get down your doctor, and they can certainly help you out. And there's loads and loads. If you Google, helplines and stuff like that, you can phone people. They can text you now, emails, video chats, anything. Anything is possible, because there's so many avenues that you can talk to people, even if you don't have like we have this close friends that around you. If you haven't got many friends or anything like that, there are still people out there who will talk to you, help you, move in the correct way with your mental health journey.
Absolutely, mate. I'm not going to say anything more than that, because it sounds like a jet engine is starting up in the back of your fucking car in your house. Sorry. No, that was